up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Oh, I was about to start. What's up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and this is your Real Housewives of Salt Lake City review. We start off where we left off. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know that you stopped by. This is called Sorries and Sleepovers. This is episode 18. Yeah, the other day with all the stuff coming out about Jenny Wynn and all the racist stuff and how she practices racism as a lifestyle, I wanted to go back and rewatch the episodes, but I thought to myself, I don't care enough. I don't care enough to go back and watch because I want to see her behavior with Mary the entire time. I want to just see everything, and I want to watch it through another lens because, like we've all said it, everybody was looking at Jenny like, what, like we don't get it. Like, why are you going? So why are you yelling at Mary? And remember when Mary said don't cuss at her or don't use cuss words around her or something. She said you don't have to, when they were ice fishing, and she said that Mary, you're not my mother, you don't tell me what to do. And the way she yelled at her, it was just so like, so I wanted to watch it again, but then I thought about it, like, never mind. I really am. Well, I definitely will not be watching next season. I have no ifs, ands, or buts about it if Jenny Wynn is back. If Mary doesn't come back, I won't be watching either. Whitney Rose, Lisa Barlow, Meredith Marks, and Heather Gay are not interesting as a combination. Also, the fact that Lisa Barlow cannot stand Whitney and Heather, so I don't know how that would work out without anyone else being in the group. Maybe they could get Jenny out of there and bring in Sarah Paulson. What was her name? Angelica. What was that girl's name? Angie. Bring her back. Bring her back. I don't know what happened, but bring her back. Get rid of Jenny and maybe somebody else. But without, honestly, and then if Jen goes to jail, that's going to be a wrap, because actually the draw was Mary's weird ass marry your grandfather story, your step grandfather story, and then this stuff with Jen being this over the top flamboyant personality, and then on the top of the fact she's defrauding vulnerable people allegedly. And I just feel like out with Mary and Jen Shaw not there, and it won't be the show. It won't be the show. So it won't be the show because a lot of these stories and the issues, a lot of them, I'm trying to think. Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Where this whole season has been about Jen Shaw and Mary, trying to make it about Mary, trying to, like I said, like throw spaghetti against the wall. Something they're trying with Mary some way, somehow. I'm not sure. I don't know. But last night when I watched the episode, I noticed Heather cutting her eyes at Mary. And I watched it 3 times. I was like, is she cutting her eyes at her? She would like looked at her and like looked at someone else that was sitting. I think it was Lisa that was sitting right there. It was right before they said, right after they got into all that foolishness and they were sitting at the table, and Heather was sitting behind Mary, like to the side off to Mary at the table. And then she says, I promised your husbands I would make sure you guys have a good time or something like that. And then she like cut her eyes at Mary. And I don't understand why Heather Gay wants Mary to be so friendly to Jenny. Why you want her? I don't know what's going on. I don't know. And now that we know that this woman who actively practices racism as a lifestyle on this show, I'm now watching everybody. I'm looking at everybody different. I'm looking at Heather crazy. I'm looking at Lisa crazy. I'm looking at Meredith crazy. I'm looking at all y'all crazy now, because now y'all have a racist in your crew, a practicing racist. When a MFer has anti-black artwork in their home, they are a practicing racist today. They didn't unlearn some shit from 2020. They practice racism today. today. So you're not going to tell me that Jenny's learned. She's learned from her mistake. She hasn't learned. What she has learned when she brought her ass over here is how to be anti-black. And so what she does is practice anti-blackness on a regular, even to the point where she has a dining room table with 2 slaves holding the table up in her home. Okay? So she practices racism. So I'm now looking at everybody in a different lens. Every last one of them. I turned into Daphne and Velma. Okay, shit, Daphne, honey. Jen and Meredith, they're arguing back and forth. Fraud. I've never done anything, and you guys know it. Everybody's looking at like, girl, no, we don't. We don't know if we know if we don't know nothing when it comes to you. I haven't. And then Meredith starts laughing. Meredith walks out of the door. That's how it left. Who's calling who a fraud? Love you, baby. Bye. So I want to give Meredith that moment. I really want to give her that moment. I do. I really want her to have that moment. But the bye, it ruins it. Bye is so friendly and like cute that you could have just been like, who's calling who a fraud? Love you, baby. And then turn the door. Because that bye, it was like, oh, it was awkward. And then Meredith, why the fuck do you leave out of the room with your grand exit, and then you hop your ass right back? You come right back. The producers tell you, go back outside. Just go back outside. Go back outside. Just go back outside. Did she just, I don't know. She's like, I'm telling the truth. And then the racist says, what kind of spell did Jen put on Meredith? I would like to know. What she said, I would like to know. And if you find out, that maybe that can be a spell you put on me so I can change my mindset about Mary. Everything she says now. She made that high class comment. Everything the little racist says, a little Vietnamese racist says, everything she says, I'm looking at it through a different lens now. No, and it's funny because the way that Mary is acting with her, it's almost as if Mary can feel it. Right? The way she's like, I don't even want to be around her. And she keeps giving Jenny the blues. And then at the table, when Jenny got up and walked out, she was like, you didn't just see what she did. She just ran. You didn't see what she did or whatever. Like, she's noticing things that other people aren't noticing, I guess, or ignoring, I should say. I've been kind to you. And you still want to hurt me. Jennifer Shaw said, why do you make me feel like this? That language is so abusive. When somebody is being a complete terrorist and has disrupted the entire dinner with their air of chaos, and then they turn around and tell you that you're doing this to them. It's because of you that I'm whirling around in a fucking tornado of dust. It's your fault. Why do you make me feel like this? I don't have nothing to do with how you feel, child. What else could I do? A lot more. I could do a lot more. And it won't end well. And then, so the rumor is that Jen hooked up with the dude that Meredith was messing with when she was separated from Seth. Now, if you's fucking a nigga just to get some dirt on Meredith, that's ridiculous. Because Meredith said she's done some questionable things to get information about all of us. I honestly think Jen Shaw should not be trusted. She's not to be trusted. She's a gaslighter. She's a manipulator. I don't believe all that crying when Meredith hugged her. I was like, what are you hugging her for? I guess, whatever. And then Mario sitting over there talking about, y'all gonna make me cry. Cry for what? It's ridiculous. All that hollering and screaming she was doing at the table, I would have said, bitch, shut the fuck up. Shut up. See, that's how you, when all that, when somebody is in the middle of their theatrics, you got to just shut the whole shit down. Stop the scene. Cut the scene. Girl, shut the fuck up. Girl, shut up. And that's what Meredith should have said when she walked into that damn house. Girl, shut your ass up. You the biggest fraud of anybody out here. Honey, let's ask them old people who are now scrounging to figure out how they're going to live the rest of their lives because they done gave all their damn savings to you. Shit, all that nice shit, girl. As horrible as Jen is, all that hollering and screaming that she does, and the way that they handle her, and that's the crazy part, is because y'all got all this smoke from Mary, and here's a woman who is literally terrorizing y'all, and y'all are coddling her, and it's really weird. And then it makes me wonder, like, why are you doing this, Heather? Why are y'all acting like this? Like, acting like the way that Jen Shaw is behaving is like, just sit there and watch her act a fool. I don't know. It's crazy because you weren't on the van. You weren't on the van. Meredith, she said, because you weren't on the van. So they think that you called the FBI and told them that she was going to be at Beauty Lab that day. So we know that we're not going to spend too much time on this, even though production and the cast of Salt Lake City would like us to get wrapped up in this idea that Meredith Marks or Mary Cosby had anything to do with the FBI knowing where Jen Shaw was going to be on that day. I'm not spending any time on that at all. Like Meredith said, it's a revolting accusation. It's not even revolting. It's asinine. It's so asinine that if you give it any life, you're just as stupid as everybody else. Because no one in their right mind would assume or think or even suggest that Meredith has something to do with a woman who's been investigated for almost the last 10 years, that she had something to do with them people coming to the damn thing. Crazy. Mary was like, that's too much. That's too much. That's what they all went in the house. That's too much. I had nothing to do with it. You can't say something like that. Why would you say something like that? That's what Mary is saying to Whitney, because Whitney tells what's her name, what the people thought, whatever the shit that they talked about. Lisa tells Jen, I know it's stressful and hard on your family, and I don't want to be a part of that. But a lot of stuff was said in veil. And Meredith is upset with me because basically I was taking up for you. And then Jen and Lisa have these words that we don't actually know where it's coming from, because Jen says, was she there for you? Was she there for you? And then Lisa gets emotional. So I'm not sure what they're referring to. Just say yes or no. Just say yes or no. So apparently something happened, and maybe Meredith wasn't there for Lisa. So we don't know what it was. Obviously, Lisa and Jen have talked about it. Feeding evidence, that's what they said. Without my help, who said that? Jen said, they're saying these horrible, mean things to me, and now that I'm here, nobody wants to say anything, which is true. They thought I was going to be at Rikers Island, but bitch, I'm here. When she said they thought she was going to be in Rikers Island, when I tell you, I almost threw my phone across the room. I was like, bitch, shut up. That was funny. But girl, you're a mess. And then it's the presentation. It's not just the words that are coming out of her mouth. It's the whole presentation. You look like a tornado. You do. You look a mess. You look a mess. Jenny says to Jen, you fucked it up. You fucked it up. You told me that she got a private investigator. And then Jenny was like, how did I mess it up? How did I F it up? And then Mary goes, she laughed. Oh, you can laugh, Mary. You can laugh, Mary. And she said, what'd she say? That's fine. You can, if Mary wants to be your friend. She got mad, and that's when she got up and walked away. Mary has my back more than you. I was trying to be your friend. And that's when Jenny walked out. And then that's when Mary was like, you don't see what she just did? Like, what? I don't understand. Well, why are you being so hard on Jenny? It's like, girl, shut up. That was weird. And then even Mary was like, what about Jen, and what about Meredith? Why y'all worried about Jenny? Did y'all just see what she just did? Okay. Jenny walks out. Jen Shaw throws a box towards Lisa Barlow's direction. Like, see, all of that stuff. You're throwing something at me. I feel like you're a threat, and it's either fight or flight or placate to your dumb shit, right? So if you throw something at me and you are all hostile and in full of just chaos and confusion, and you are coming towards me and throwing stuff at me, I might have to defend myself. I might feel the need to defend myself. It's crazy. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just couldn't be in a friend group with somebody that abusive, and I don't even see why. That I hope that, like, honestly, even though I just said that the show wouldn't be as interesting without Jen Shaw, but the way that she abuses her friends, I don't like it. I don't like it, and I've never liked it. I didn't like it last season. I think she's very toxic. I think she's very toxic. I don't understand. I think the only reason why she has people around her is because she actually pays them. But I think Jen Shaw is super toxic. I think she is, and I don't see how she's allowed to operate in this group the way that she's operating. I understand this is a show. I understand they are co-workers, and some are really friends outside the show. Some may not even fuck with each other outside the show. But the fact is, I don't think that it's fair to have someone in a friend group who is that toxically abusive. It's just like, it's too much. And that behavior, compared to like when Monique and Candace got it, when Monique assaulted Candace, and everybody, oh, she had her hand in her face, she had, and it's like really nothing that, like, what she assumed was I was being provoked, but the way that Jen Shaw, that is provoking behavior. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, oh girl, shut up, girl. That's people making an excuse so that that other woman can be violent against that other woman. If Candace was behaving the way Jen Shaw was behaving and getting in people's faces and running up on people, and Monique kindly whooped her ass after that, I think everybody would have understood, like, girl, you was in her face and you was doing a lot. Not that petty shit that y'all was trying to excuse. But the way that Jen Shaw behaves with these women, if it was a black group of women, and I'm just gonna say, because I was gonna say if any group of women, if that was on Potomac, Jen Shaw would not do that. If that was on Atlanta Housewives, Jen Shaw would not behave like that. This erratic, explosive, chaotic, toxic behavior is because she's the only person of color. Mary's not going to get wrapped up in that. She's already separated herself from that. You a person of color, your ass is crazy, your ass is crazy, your ass is racist. Okay? I think if Jen Shaw was on any other show, she would not behave like that. And I don't think that it's right that she is allowed and she's being employed to behave like that. That's how I feel about it. Whitney, Mary, why bring Meredith into this bullshit? We're questioning relationships. We're on the same team. Lisa said there's no team. We're all just friends. Lisa leaves. She says, I got myself. I don't need anybody else. Meredith is on the phone with Brooks, telling him what happened. She says she's going to have to wipe the whole circle. I'm going to have to wipe the whole circle out, bottom line. So that's what she said. But she comes back, and then they end up having a good time. And then Jen to Meredith. Jen comes and she's standing at Meredith's door, and she gets off the phone with Brooks, and she is like, did you know what was going down that day? She was like, no, I did not. Of course I didn't. I had no idea. It's not just you. There's so much tension on the bus. I didn't want to spend 5 hours in a place where I couldn't escape. That's smart. I don't want your family to suffer. She says, if she truly had my back, she wouldn't bring this stuff up because it's completely false and it hurts my family and hurts me. Meredith bringing up that you were indicted is not going to hurt your family. What you have been alleged to do is what's hurting your family. And I also find it abusive that Jen is trying to figure out a way to blame someone else for the cops coming to pick her ass up. Mary says, if we're going to be friends, we need to come together. Give Meredith 5 years. The next morning, Meredith wakes up hot in Caitlyn Jenner mode. Don't she look like Caitlyn Jenner when she's mad? She was hollering and screaming. Apparently, Lisa came in her room. Here's Lisa playing the producer. She comes in her room at 3 a.m. to tell her that the women are talking about saying that the memorial was fake. So then Lisa goes, nobody was saying it was fake. Nobody was saying it was fake. And she says, just leave my sister and my dad out of this. Y'all leave my family out of this. Like, she was getting angry. I've never heard Meredith yell. Like, she was yelling and screaming. She even told Lisa at one point, go away because I don't want to keep yelling and screaming at you, but I'm pissed. Like, why continue that? Like, honestly, it's like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Whose idea? What producer? Hello. This is where it is. It's the producers, because a logical woman, a woman who is business minded and understands life, would never have a conversation and then tell a person, oh, and then come back and tell the person, they were saying that the memorial was fake. Or did you lie about the memorial in order not to be on the bus? If anything, why would she create a lie like that not to get on the bus? She could lie and say, Seth had a doctor's appointment. Why would anybody lie and say that? You know why? Because y'all would do it. That's why. That's why when Jenny asked that question, was it the truth? Was it the truth? Why would you even inject that? You guys are literally sitting on this bus saying it may or may not be true that Meredith had a memorial for her father and lied to us to avoid taking the bus. After she told y'all, I didn't want to take the bus because you guys are idiots. And I don't want to be in a bus for 5 hours with a bus full of idiots. I'd rather fly because you guys are idiots, especially Whitney. You're ridiculous. You are ridiculous. And I don't know who your producer is, but they're making you look ridiculous. Heather Gay, your producer, is making you look ridiculous. Lisa Barlow, your producer, is making you look ridiculous. Jen Shaw, your producer, is making you look ridiculous. I don't know how many producers y'all got running around y'all, but y'all producers got y'all looking crazy. You can spew your lies. I gotta go. I gotta call the CIA. I'm leaving. I'm disgusted. She doesn't leave. Meredith, no one's gonna believe you the next time you say you're gonna leave, because you left and came back. 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 It's lost its potency. Period. Heather and Whitney and Jen are in the bed together. I guess that was supposed to be a funny moment. I wasn't amused. I'm not amused by any of the antics happening here. It's not funny. It's not funny because it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Why would Lisa go into Meredith's room to tell her, girl, I know you're already mad about us saying that that you called the FBI, but now they're saying that you didn't get on the bus because your dad's memorial. Were you telling the truth about your dad's memorial? And then Lisa comes back and says, how could she turn this around on me? What did she say? How could she turn this around? She said, I told y'all I didn't want to talk about things and I wasn't in the mood, but y'all kept poking and prodding until I lost it. Like, she was like, that's when, if Meredith would have freaked out and slapped the shit out of Jen Shaw, I would have been like, I understand. That is provoking someone. That all that stuff, throwing shit at people. Y'all act like somebody can be provoked over a hair flip. All of that stuff that they're doing, man. Mary takes eggs up to Meredith. Meredith says no to thank you. And then Lisa says, can I finish with Meredith? And Mary is standing she's standing there stalling like she didn't want to leave. She wanted to, I don't know if she was trying to be nosy. I don't know what she was going to do. She was like, all right. And she walked out. I felt like you've been hostile towards me since last summer. And then Lisa says, I've been Meredith's punching bag when we went to ice fishing, when we went to fall lunch, But all of her, if you watch all of the time she was angry, it was a reaction to Jen Shaw. It had nothing to do with you. And I think Meredith is mad at y'all because y'all keep trying to get her to be as welcoming and comforting to Jen Shaw as you all are. And she's not interested in that because Jen Shaw has been whatever she done to her. She doesn't like it. So she's not going to be there. And the fact that every time she was going off on you, it had to do with Jen Shaw. Every time. Every clip they showed, it had to do with Jen Shaw. Every clip. So she says that it's effing nuts and that she doesn't have to deal with Meredith's microaggressions. But every time Meredith was mad, it had to do with Jen. So they're down at the kitchen. Jenny's sitting at the counter and she goes, "What did I miss?" And then she says, well, she's getting the two mixed up. She's saying that we said that the memorial was fake. Jenny says, well, we didn't say it was fake. Mary goes, I can't take her. She starts walking away. Why? You can't take me, Mary? You don't have to take me. Go ahead, go. And then Heather's like, you completely dismissed her. She was like, I don't want to talk. She's like, this is not acceptable if she's our friend. Meredith, what's her name? What's the girl's name? Mary said, you will accept it. I don't want to talk to her and you're going to accept it. What are you talking about? Mary thinks she's high class. This is exactly what she said. Mary thinks she's in upper class. Mary thinks she's in upper class and I'm down here. You're projecting because you think that that's how Mary sees you. That's how you feel standing next to Mary. And that's why you feel you have to practice racism when it comes to her, because just standing there, you already feel beneath her. But she's treating me like I'm one of her workers at home. Like you don't matter, you can't speak. That's how you feel. That's how you feel. She says she doesn't want to talk to her and you don't matter. And Mary later apologizes and Jenny lets us know that she has been in anger management for the last year. You mean around the time you were posting all that stuff to the internet? So that'll be around the time of all this stuff going on that you was posting stuff to the internet, because apparently you have anger issues and you can't control your temper and you broke Dewey's rib. So in order to control your anger, you have to learn how to forgive and forget. And she said that she appreciates that. Um, who's speculating? If you did, that's messed up. Um, what happened? Then they went hiking. They did the off-road thing. Um, Lisa apologizes for saying or getting the words mixed up by saying it was a fake memorial. She's invited them to a Vita event. And then Heather and Whitney are so happy that they finally got an invite. Mary apologizes to Jenny for saying you don't matter. But guess what? Black lives don't matter to Jenny. So it's ironic that she told her that she didn't matter. That's ironic. Knowing what we know now and knowing that Mary said you don't matter and Jenny believes that Black lives don't. It's just the irony for me. Anyways, that was the episode. That was, and all that hiking and stuff, all that fun stuff that they're supposed to, it takes away when in the middle, like on each side of that, um there's chaos and confusion, and then you want to put in the middle some, you know, hiking trip. Like, girl. Anyways, y'all, take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.